So most girls are blowing the money, but when you got your money, what was the difference in what you did?
Done it all.
A lot of people are familiar with strip club culture where
I went from videos, magazines, calling out influencer.
a lot of people can't understand why a person would come and go to a bar, because you're not going to drink $30,000 worth of liquor. Literally just give a bartender $30,000. What are you expecting on a monthly basis from financially?
From him?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm spoiled.
No, as soon as they said a sport, it's going to be a ticket. Go ahead.
What's that mean? Just
What's that range?
Let's bring our guest up, shall we? All right. So our guest, special guest today,
Yeah.
Aisha Diaz. What's going on?
Yes, it's me.
How you
I'm
doing?
here, finally. I'm good. How are you guys?
Very good.
Good. Friend of the show. So I knew Aisha. We have obviously a very good mutual friend, Mike, and I knew her for a very, very long time. So man, it's conversations that I think is interesting to have. But first and foremost, thank you for joining us. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And for somebody that may not be familiar with you, like what would be the best way to describe? I think as far as you've been an influencer before there was a word influencer, you played a major part in the New York City nightlife vibe when it comes to like the Bartender aspect of things.
Yes.
Like you've seen that online entrepreneur, like, you know, you've kind of wore many hats, but how would you describe yourself for somebody that may not be familiar with you?
Honestly, I think I've done it all. I've done it all. I went from videos, magazines, as people call it now, influencer, bartender. I've done it all.
I know she listed a couple of things she's done, but you guys think she traded her soul for it? Because I know a couple girls in this industry, man. Not even couple, bro. Most of them, they end up trading their souls for some dinero. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if she did that. You know, sold their soul for money.
Which is so crazy. And I'm still in that world, luckily. So
let's get to it. Let's not even waste. The name of the show is Blackout. Let's not even waste any time. The Bartender era was a crazy era. What's the craziest thing? Because I've heard stories of guys that, you know, have purchased watches for bartenders, have come with $20,000 in cash to the bar.
This is where I blame the man. Men out there, you guys started this shit.
Like, what's the craziest thing that somebody has done to try to get your attention?
Honestly, we don't even consider it crazy because it became like a normal thing.
Oh, okay. Tell us. Tell us about these simps. Go ahead.
It just became normal. Like, we expect you to come with 20, 30 grand and blow it on us.
She said, we expect you to come with 20, 30 grand and blow it on us. Right now, it's an expectation, bro. And guess who brought these expectations? Is your men's out there. You guys trying to flex. You guys are trying to go in these damn clubs, bro, with them bills trying to throw on them. Like, this is what you get.
Oh, wait. Well, you expect somebody to come with $30,000.
If you see that's what's happening at my bar every time I work, I'm expecting you to come through with the same type of energy.
Attention. Yep.
So, I mean, at first it was like, oh my God, it's amazing. This is crazy. We're making this type of money. Nobody else in the world is making that type of money as far as like nightclubs, you know. And it was just such an amazing time. It's still happening, actually. But you wouldn't understand it unless you actually work it, how easy it is and how often it actually happens. It's not like one time a year. It's very often that $30,000, $40,000, $60,000 is being spent at particular one bar.
Yeah, I guess it's them rich folks. You got them drug dealers, you got them crime mafia, you got them like them millionaires, you got all of them, bro. They got to be the ones spending this much, because I cannot fathom a brokey making 30 to 60K a year going and spending this, bro, like maxing out credit cards just to go to impress the border service girl.
And
can you walk us through how this works? Because I think a lot of people, this is a New York thing, really, because a lot of people are familiar with strip club culture where people spend a lot of money in the strip clubs, but a lot of people can't understand why a person would come to a club and go to a bar, because you're not going to drink $30,000 worth of liquor and literally just give a bartender $30,000. Well, walk us through that process.
I think that they come through. They not only showing up for the bartender ourselves, but I think they do it mainly for the people on the outside.
She got a point right here, 100%. That's what happens. You know, everybody that walks into a bar, a club, or whatnot, they want to feel like a superstar. Nobody want to be looked down upon. Nobody want to feel like a bum. They all trying to show off. They think they got like this image they gotta protect. Bro, you would even have a bus driver on the weekdays who's slaving 15 hours a week, bro. He show up, bro. He trying to act like he's something he's not. Wearing his designer clothing, all this and that. So it's all an image problem.
Yeah.
That's looking in and watching them. A lot of them want to keep up an image of they have that type of money, and they actually don't. Sadly,
Is it
they really
insecurity?
don't have that type of money, huh?
Is it insecurity?
I wouldn't say insecurity, but I feel like they feel like they need to spend a certain amount of money to kind of show everybody else that they're the top dog, kind of.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it don't really even have to be the girl necessarily. Sometimes it is, but you can tell when it's about the girl and when it's I need to, keep up an image for everybody else. Depending on how they throw the money.
Goodness gracious, yo. Wouldn't it be nice to be a woman, guys? Like, tell me, like, this for my men's out there who are doing constructions or doing these hard slaving ass jobs, bro. Wouldn't it be nice to be a woman? What you're making in 5 years, bro, they're making it in 3 months, bro. Maybe as far as even 6 months. They can make what you make in 5 years. Just go cry yourself, bro. I got napkins for you. I got tissue for you, bro. I'm gonna pass it to you. Alright, just go cry yourself in a corner.
If the guy's throwing the money all over the club, everywhere, and he's making a big scene, then automatically we know that it's an image thing that they're trying to keep up, or they're trying to show off in front of everybody else that's around. Now, if he's throwing the money directly at the girl and it's not such a big ass chaos, then we know that it's for us. So
For the girls who trying to catch a simp in 2026, right, to get them to blow back on them, if you see 10 guys walking the bar, how do you know the one who you can get the most money out of the easiest? Ladies, take notes.
Okay, so when it's a crew of guys and they just show up to your bar, you can actually tell. There's always two scenarios, right? The quietest, most humblest, and least speaking one, that's literally in between the loudest one, is usually the one with the more money. And then when it's time to order and get things done, like who's going to ask for the bottle and stuff, sometimes you can tell that the loud guy is asking the one to the left, like, hey, what do you want? Or what do you think? And he's calmly telling him like, okay, yes. So you can kind of tell. And then you get that one that comes through and he's just making sure everybody knows that he's the one with the money. I mean, those be usually the brokest ones anyways. They just have money for the night.
They just have money for the night. Yo, that's the truth, actually, A lot of these people, bro, they live with their mama. But when they pop out, they're popping out with that designer clothes. They're popping out with them bills. God damn, meanwhile, their rent is due next week, bro. They don't got money for that rent. But all of a sudden, for the weekend, for the night, they got it,
Yeah, but usually it's the calm ones, the ones that aren't doing too much, that usually are the one with the money. So.
And is that something, not just you, but anybody, do girls notice that and then they would go after that guy?
I feel like the older girls do. We kind of notice that it's not always the one with the big chains and, the loud personality.
Yeah.
My thing is this, right? Like, if you're trying to, spend a bag on a woman, why don't you just go and pay for a hooker, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta go to a strip club, show off to everybody. Why don't you just do it low key, keep it on the wraps, Or go to the worn down part of the city where it's ghetto as hell and you find them strippers or them hookers walking on the side of the road and buy yourself one for $20. You know what I'm saying? If it's all about the woman, I don't understand why you would have to go put a scene on like this,
You have to have a maturity level to understand, like, all right, that's not the one, it's this one. Or for the younger girls, as long as they got some chains and a nice watch and they, they're being a little loud, automatically they'll be like, okay, this is the one.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the girl, actually.
The one with the money doesn't really have anything to prove to anybody. Like, he knows he got it. and he knows his lifestyle, like he's comfortable like that. You know, the one without the money hasn't experienced that type of life, so that's why they're loud, that's why they're barking, you know what I mean? Because they feel like they gotta cause that attention, you know what I mean? They gotta get them eyes on them. But the ones that got it like that, they've had it, so like it's normal for them, you know what I mean? Just like how she said, it's normal for them to be getting spent 20-30 a night. It's the same thing. The one that has the money, bro, ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody, right? This is their reality. They ain't gonna go out, you know, they ain't gonna go above and beyond what their normal day is like, you know what I mean? Like this, like to them, it's just a regular night. But to the ones that don't got it like that, now this is an event. This is an eventful night for them, you know what I mean?
What's the most you ever seen somebody make in a bar in 1 month?
In a month?
Yeah.
I mean, a month is a lot because, you know, it's a lot to keep up with. I can only really speak for myself, but I've seen girls make 100 grand, 80, 70 in a month.
70 to 100 grand a month selling borders, whatever, doing border service, whatnot. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Is this gonna influence some of you guys to get a sex change? You know, change your gender up now. Yo, making that type of money is wild, bro. But I mean, I don't disagree. You know, definitely them high end bars. You know, definitely. You know, but let me tell you one thing too. Them OF girls be popping too. They making this kind of money, you know, weekly. Making crazy amount of numbers, bro.
There's a lot of girls that still make at least, you know, the least 20 grand a month.
Yeah, 20, 30.
And they
easily.
only work twice a week.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing too. Bartenders don't work every day. We are only allowed to work, maybe we're lucky, three days at the week in the same club. Mm-hmm. Now, certain bars, you're not allowed to work anywhere else but there. So you're stuck. So they don't only give you 2 nights. You're only stuck with 2 nights at the week. So technically you're only working, let's say like 6 days at the month. Mm-hmm. Then we have other bars that they don't care where you work at. Just make sure you're here on your night. And those type of girls, we can work wherever we want. So if we want, we can work at 6 different clubs and every night work throughout the month. But if they have you restricted to where you can only work at your club, at your house club, then you're kind of, you know, have to settle for that. And you lose a lot of money, honestly.
So when Bernice Burgos, she went viral a few years ago when she was saying that, I think at like a peak, I forget exactly how much it was, but it was a crazy number. It was like $50,000 a night.
Yeah.
Is that true?
The way it was worded kind of was a little wrong, but has she made $50,000 a day? Yes. Every day? No.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, every day is not a good day. You're not going to go to work and make $20,000, 30, 70, 60 every day. Mm-hmm. Can you make it? Absolutely. Does it happen? Yes. On a slow night, yes. It could be a slow night. Everybody could be making $2 and you have a $60,000 night.
Hey, yo, I just want to know about the men she was dating and what they thought of that, you know, because I know a lot of guys have issues with their women working the night scenes and getting this crazy amount of tips from simps and losers and whatnot, right? I want to know how they took this in, you know, what they thought about this. Were they cool with it? Were they not? Is that what caused the breakup or what? Like, I want to ask her ex, man. Her ex-boyfriends, whatnot, you know.
So let me ask you this as a follow-up question, Ian, just real quick. So you've been in this situation for a while, right? And you've seen like the glory days of the pandemic. When you in the good times, you making $100,000 a month, and then a lot of times you might not even have too many expenses because somebody else might have, you know, you got a guy that's paying for things as well. What are you doing with the money? Because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money coming in.
Okay, what I'm doing with the money and what most girls do with the money is 2 different things.
Okay, what are most girls doing with the money?
Most girls are going shopping. Let's say Sunday night, they made $15,000. Monday, Tuesday, they're out shopping.
Yeah.
They're out spending money, doing something they're not supposed to be doing, right? And the reason is, it's kind of like the stripper mentality. If I made this money today, I'm going to make it again tomorrow. So they automatically just spend it. And technically, when it's 15, you got to split it in 2. That's another thing, too, that people don't really know. you're not taking that $15,000 home 100%, because now you got to split it in two. And then after split, not even before you split it in two, you got to give 15% to the bus boys, and then money gets lost in the air, and then the packs are already short. So the $15,000 that
tell us about that, because if you get $5,000 in the club, are you always getting a full $5,000, or you?
No.
Thank you.
No. So let's say $1,000 is automatically $900 to $800 because the club already took out their singles.
Yep.
By the time it flies in the air, you're getting, out of the 800 that you got, right? You're getting maybe 600. And that's if he's just throwing it at you, because, you know, and money flies everywhere. And then 15% goes to the busboy, and then you're splitting $400 in between you and your partner. And then you have to, you know, take away the money that you spent for your outfit, which most likely be $65 to $75. And then your register is short. So then now you have to pay off whatever you owe.
So for them to be walking out with that 50,000 a month, you're telling me like it's gonna be split between two ways and this and that. So in the end, they don't even walk out with that 50. I mean, unless they're making like 80 to 90,000, you know what I mean? And then the end amount is totaling out to like 50,000 they're walking out with, you know?
So yeah, it's a little tricky when it comes to that. But we don't really, just because you see us with $15,000 does not mean that we are taking 100% of the money home.
So most girls are blowing their money, but when you got your money, what was the difference in what you did?
I mean, I was that girl at one point.
Yeah.
I'll just blow it. I'll take off for the next 2 weeks, don't work, spend my money. And then when it was time to, like, you know, I need money again, I would just go back to work. I did that for a very, very long time when I was younger. Yeah. And then I got to the point where I started saving my money, and I have family I take care of. So a lot of my money actually went into family. Mm-hmm. At one point, I sat down and I did the math. I'm like, okay, I made this much this year. Where did my money go? Mm-hmm. It went to food. It went to Uber. And at the time, it wasn't even Uber. It was, I can't remember what it was called, but it was similar to Uber. You just go outside and wave them down. So I was paying $65 to go to work, $65 to come back home, just to go to work.
Yeah.
And, or even go anywhere, because I didn't drive. So a lot of my money was really spent on transportation and food. And food, it's not like I was just buying a big amount of food. I would just go to restaurants where my bill would be $600.
That's wild, yo. A restaurant where your bill is $600. Like, what are you eating, bro? Are you eating a full-on cow, bro? That's just for a meal. $600. That's ridiculous, bro. If you're telling me you're a sumo wrestler and all that, and you're eating that much, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, I can see that. But bro, this is like a girl who's like, what, 150 pounds, 160 maybe max?
Just for me and a friend, or even more, you know?
Yeah.
So I was really spending my money on a lot of things that wasn't really needed. And then I started becoming smart about it. I started saving all my money and putting myself on a budget. I started putting myself on a budget, like, this is all I can afford. This is all I can spend for, let's say, the week. And I had to work around that. It was a little hard at first. Yeah. And I would go pinch the money I was saving. But once I start pinching out the money that I was saving, I would find myself spending it all. And it wasn't until COVID that I was able to save up a big amount of money, and then telling myself, like, okay, do something with it before you go spend it on something stupid. Mm-hmm. And stupid things would be like, go on vacation for a whole week and a half. Don't work for a whole 2 months. Providing for other people that were around me, friends, family. And then I will find myself at zero again.
You know, guys, I gotta like pinpoint something important right here, right? She did mention that at the time when she was making that kind of money, she took time off work, went on vacation, did this and that. You know, girls go shopping, they do this and that because they have the mentality that they're gonna make it again, you know, the next time they go back to work. Now that's such a dumb mentality, and that's the reason why I think the standards have been raised, and that's why you're dealing with women like this. Like, you think if you're trying to go date her now, you think she's gonna accept anything less for a night? You think she's gonna be impressed with that? She ain't gonna be impressed, bro. Let me tell you that, especially since she's used to dealing with money and dealing with all this kind of crazy lifestyle, right? So that's something to keep in mind, right? If a woman is already making this much of men, right, of her job, and she's working twice a week, Yo, first of all, she doesn't have that motivation to be working like you are. You know, you're hustling like 5 6 days a week. You're doing 12 15 hours days, and you're probably spending your money wisely because, you know, you busted your ass and sweat just to get it. She's doing it twice a week, bro. She's making triple the amount you make. So then obviously her standards are gonna be abnormal, right?
And during COVID, I was like, you know what? Let me just do something. So I went and hurry up and start buying houses and investing my money into things that later on in the long run, you know, it's going to be better for me. And I'm actually very happy that I made that decision, because if not, I would have still be living the stripper life.
Mhm.
So you started investing in real estate. I love that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
How? Okay, let's get to this.
hmm
If you date somebody, right? I don't
Yeah.
know what your relationship status is now, but what are you expecting on a monthly basis from financially?
From him?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm spoiled.
No, as soon as they said a sport, it's going to be a ticket. Go ahead.
What's that mean? Just
Yeah, what's that range?
because it's good insight, because you know we just have these hypothetical conversations all the time, but just somebody you're like in the top 1% of girls that's actually you're exposed to that life, right? Like, so
Yeah.
what is, you say you're spoiled, what does that mean?
Spoiled means I need you to be able to keep up with my lifestyle if you want to be with me.
What does
I'm
that
not
mean?
asking you to
Ladies,
pay all
take
my
notes. Take notes, because they don't work on the simp. I have a
I just feel
lifestyle
like
I
if can
expect to
do it for
keep. Yep.
myself, you should be able to do it for me too. And if I can't depend on you to be able to handle what I have on my plate, then there's no reason for me and me and you to be together, because that means you're gonna hold me back, and that means I'm gonna have to be looking out after you.
What about
that,
love?
What does that mean? Financially, what does that mean though? What does that mean? What does that mean on a monthly? What does that mean? Roughly.
Numbers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 45, 50.
$50,000 a month. So you need $50,000 a month.
What is true? I can give you the paperwork right now.
No,
Listen,
no, I'm not saying that you're not getting it. But hold on, you got a contract?
listen.
You sign contract? They sign contracts?
But if you allow me, let's say my partner doesn't allow me to work, I am going to look at you and say, are you paying all my bills? Because in order for me to sit down, somebody have to pay all my bills, and not just my bills. I need extra money, because you can't give me my bill money and then I'm left with nothing.
Yeah.
I need money to save too.
And you're flat. Yep.
And that's honestly, that's what really becomes expensive, because my bills alone are already really high.
Yeah.
So I need a little bit more, not just for hair and nails and stuff, but I need a little bit more because I need to be able to save, and I need a backup, because after we break up or anything happens in between me and you.
Yeah, I can see why though, right? Like, she's used to this. If over the years she was making like, 10, 20, 30K a night, or whatever, monthly, whatever you call it, right? For you to be blowing, first of all, 50K is, first of all, to the normal person, that's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's abnormal. Ain't no way. Hell no. Bro, people out here making 50K a year, bro, if they're even lucky. Some are making way below that, bro. And they be slaving away hours at their job site, bro. I'm talking about them early ass, cold ass mornings, bro, to them late ass evenings, bro. And you're telling me 50K. Now you mad. First of all, let's talk about what happens if I get laid off my job. What happens if job is not doing too well, money ain't coming like that, some months are slower. What happens then? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna leave my ass? Hell no, right? So this is why I always say, man, like, y'all gotta just date within your tax brackets, bro. Literally within your tax brackets. Cause out here, 50K, Yo, that's crazy.